Hey, Dr. Mike Ferguson here. I want to personally invite you to a one-of-a-kind training that's taking place here in Springfield, Missouri at the Brentwood Library on Thursday, January the 16th at 8:30 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. It is going to be a youth mental health first aid certification training. For those of you who work with young people, this is a vital training to certify you for 3 years to work with young people that might be facing a mental health crisis or a mental illness. Now, if you work with young people, you're probably aware that 1 in every 10 young person will face a mental health crisis or an illness. So think about your youth group. If you've got 50 young people in there, if you've got 100 young people in there, 1 out of every 10 of those young people will have a mental health crisis. And that number begins to play out in reality when we find now that the number 3 killer among young people between the ages of 11 to 25 is suicide. So we're losing a lot of young people because they're facing mental health crisis and mental illness. And so we want to invite you to be a part of this certification training as a youth mental health first aider. Given the pressures that young people are facing today, would you know how to provide mental health first aid for a young person that's facing suicidal thoughts and behavior, that are doing non-suicidal self-injury? They're burning, they're cutting themselves, they're doing things to their body to experience the pain physically because they don't want to deal with it emotionally. They're having panic attacks as they attend school, as they go to class, as they're facing all kinds of issues and pressures. We're seeing a lot more panic attacks among young people today. Young people who are affected by traumatic events because of the life around them, because potentially crises that come up, and so as a result of that, there's acute stress disorder going on among young people. Would you know what to do as a youth worker, as a youth pastor, as a youth sponsor? Would you know what to do with someone who's affected by traumatic events or going through an acute psychosis? Someone who is just basically having a meltdown at church, at school, at home, and of course the parents call you as the youth pastor, as the youth leader, and need your help. Would you know what to do? Well, after this training, you will know what to do. You'll know what to do, even with young people who are having acute effects of alcohol and drug abuse or misuse. You'll know what to do in an emergency situation when you're finding yourself in that situation. And also with mental health first aid for aggressive behavior, because there's some young people, because they're acting out as a result of a lot of different things going on in their life. But after this training, as a youth leader, as a youth pastor, as a youth sponsor, you will know what to do as a certified youth mental health first aider. And so you'll be the first one at your church to be certified when you come to this training on January the 16th on a Thursday. You'll be prepared to help students in a mental health crisis. It'll be great to have someone with the skill sets to be able to call and say, hey, would you come and help me with this student? To register, just click the link below. It's a bright blue button that says to register here. Click, and you'll save $25 off the regular price, which is normally $60 for this training. But we were going to offer it as a 25% discount, meaning you'll take $15 out of $60 and your price will be $45. And so we want to encourage you to come to this youth mental health first aid certification training in Springfield, Missouri, from the surrounding areas. But here is the great challenge. We only have 8 spots for this particular training. As we just got finished doing, as I mentioned, we're doing the Kanakuk leadership. We had close to 50 leaders, young student leaders that are in there, and they came. But in this particular training, we only have 8 spots available. So those are going to go very quickly. So we want to encourage you to register early before those 8 spots are taken. And if you want more information about what Youth Mental Health First Aid is all about and the certification, you can go to www.ruokusa.org. And if I can help you in any way, please do not hesitate to email or call me. You'll find our information on that website. And I hope to see you on Thursday, January the 16th.